Hello again everybody, this is Amergan and you're very welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Fleet Command. So we're in for a long play here today guys, it's going to take a little while, and today it's all about hitting back, a bit of revenge and escalating this war. So sit back, enjoy the footage, enjoy the intro, and I will catch you guys again very, very shortly.
Portrayal of the seventh grounds. One of the cronies, he was doing your rounds. We followed him. Just a silhouette figure up market pass where the headlamp shine on the broken glass. We followed him. Over the bridge by the old canal where the shadows dance on the lighted wall. Stopped to light up the cigarette.
Okay, so I'm back guys, and I found this level 30 rug unshielded. He's got a few of his buddies around him. You see this guy up here, he's hit me a few times. He's got a miner out nearby, so I'm going to jump here. I'm going to hit his miners. I don't know if he has more than one. He certainly has one just sitting there, so I'm going to hit that. See if he reacts, see if he's online. Call back my mining ships. I'm going to jump here. Okay. So I'm going to change all of these to realtas. The reason being, the realta is very, very easy to repair. Very small amount of power steel. So I'm going to equip 3 realtas. I don't need all 3, one will do. Anybody who's watched a high level base raiding will have seen what I do with these realtas. And 1 or 2 usually suffices. And it doesn't really matter for these purposes what officers are on the bridge. So it drops my power a little bit. Now what's important here guys, as you can see, if you look at the top, I have very little resources there. I've spent them as soon as I get them. So if you're like me, you've got nothing to lose, then you've got nothing to lose. These guys can come and hit me all they want, they're getting nothing out of me. So if you're in this situation and you've been bugged by somebody and they've stolen your resources and you want a wee bit of payback, even just to make yourself feel better, try something like this. All you need is a couple of relocation tokens and a bit of titanium to fix your station and a little bit of power steel to fix your realta. So just for now I'm going to switch back to a stronger ship and take out this miner. So I'll go with the Kara. It looks like he may have called in his miner, I don't see it. I think that's where Ironside was going. I think Ironside's after doing the job for me. Okay, so we can change back from this Kara. And go with the realta again. Okay. So this is payback guys, this is a bit of revenge. Now this player hasn't really bothered me, but it's the only rug of any sort of high level that I can find, and maybe we'll draw out 1 or 2 of these guys if they're online once they see what's happening. So simply gonna Keep spamming this guy. And you can see there he's bubbled. So that bubble will go a couple of minutes. You can see the repair cost on that reel is next to nothing. My ship is caught in his bubble. Now, I'm not going to get anything out of that, guys, but it costs me very, very little. He's got quite a powerful Intrepid there. Would be very, very expensive to repair if he decides that he wants to hit me. So, that's it started. I'll be back once again in a couple of moments. We'll continue that on when his bubble drops. Okay guys, so we're back. The bubble is gone. So we're going to start spamming this base with this realtor. Now quick and easy to repair. $29 there, 29 power steel, 33 on that one. I think this last reel in Dry Dock Sea, and here we go, there's hitting me there now. Okay, so he's going to bubble me. Okay, and he's dropped his shield. So now we can just annoy his head and let him know that he can hit my ships all he wants, and we're not gonna go away. So we're gonna cancel this peace shield. No biggie. We've nothing to lose. And it's something like that I was after. This player down here hasn't really hit me, so I'm going to leave him alone. There's Hilt bubbled now as well. Now he has ships home, so he probably bubbled that himself. But we'll see in a couple of minutes if he drops it. And there he is, hitting me again. So he's not going to get anything out of me, guys. We'll take a look at that now in a wee second. And I'll show you what the cost on the repairs for my station is. So the mining event is over. Of all my efforts to go out and mine, I just kept getting my ships destroyed. A lot of them by this guy and a few others, and anybody that's watched the slideshow I put together on the war news will be aware that there was a fair amount of hits on me by a range of players. So any of those players now, I have my eyes on them. They're going to probably watch this video, so they'll be aware of that. I don't mind about that. I'm going to be looking out for them without their bubbles, and I'm just gonna make sure that they know I'm around. It's gonna cost me less than the cost of losing my mining ships and constantly repairing them. So these players will either leave me alone or put up with my harassing them. I won't do any damage. It's not about doing damage. It's about letting them know that I won't be pushed around. Not that I feel pushed around, but some of you guys might want to use this tactic to let players on your servers know that you won't be pushed around either. So this is a bit of a revolution, guys. This is one in the eye for the big man. The wee man can go out now and take on these bigger players if he so chooses, and just let them know that it doesn't matter how strong they think they are, you're not afraid. And in fact, it can even be a wee bit of fun. Now, some of these guys might be alright, some of them might have a sense of humour, some of them might not. It makes little matter to me, and it's of no consequence, because I can go out and have my fun with this anyway. So let's see. You've seen what it costs me in terms of my ships. To repair that Intrepid, not a huge cost, but huge for a lower player, what that guy's going to be using in terms of titanium and whatever to repair those ships. That won't cost as much, but it's all part and parcel of the game. And we can keep doing this for as long as we like. Now I'd like to try and go and find another target. Fortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to hit this other player again. And see if he drops his bubble and comes out. And I'll say once again, guys, I don't recommend this just to be a pest on your server. I wouldn't do this with ROG, except for I'm at war with them and some of them have been hitting me repeatedly. If it's a case that stronger players end up coming after you, you've employed this tactic and stronger players and alliances end up coming after you, then on your own head be it, because this is more about standing up to stronger players, and it's not about going and making a pest out of yourself. So just to be clear on that one, that this tactic can be used in a variety of ways, but this is simply a point being made to much stronger players and a much stronger group of players now that 4 alliances have merged into one. So you would hope right now that Hiltz is sending messages to his alliance buddies that some of them may be none too pleased about the cheek of this player to go and do this kind of activity, and the hope would be that some of them may react, and we'll waken up these guys a wee bit, because they're sitting around this server, there's all this talk of peace, and yet their players are still hitting me, so let's waken them up a wee bit. And if I can find any more targets, I'll edit this video and throw a few of them together, but it's quite quiet at the moment. You can see 55 power steel on a fully upgraded rail deck. So very, very low cost, guys. Now, normally I wouldn't do it unless I was jumping away from this area, but I'm going to repair my base. So you can see what the cost in terms of titanium and power steel or whatever is involved there. Okay, so we go inside the station. You can see here it says repairing 1000 titanium for 1 defense platform. And we hit repair again. 2000 titanium all in all. There's nearly 6, so okay, 8000 we're probably sitting at around now. 9000. And there the station is repaired. So 9000 titanium, guys. One of my envoys would have been more expensive to repair than that. So, and certainly the ECS Horizon or any stronger ships are much more expensive than that to repair. So you're essentially using your base to tank these players and you want them to be flexing their muscles. You want them to be going around in their big ships thinking that they can step on you, when in actual fact you're just immune to it. Now this game might have wised up to this. These guys aren't slow players, like they know how to figure things out. But Hiltz would have hit me there, I'd imagine, just to make a point, to let me know he was there, and let me know that if I hit his guy, he's going to come and hit me. Now there's no way we're even going to make a dent in this base, because he's got ships home, if I recall. Yeah. So these realtors will do nothing to any of those. So I'm going to keep doing this, guys, and I will be back shortly with any more developments. Okay, so I'm going to repair these ships, guys. So when I get these ships repaired, I'm also getting a little bit of news in the Alliance. I'm going to jump into the Alliance chat now and take a wee look, see what's happening. A few guys, a wee bit of activity. I see Hiltz has hit me again, has he? And his ship was destroyed. So that's costing him, guys. I wish I could stay for longer, Hiltz. I'll be back again, buddy. But we got things to do, because it looks like there's a raiding party about to go down on this guy. So I'm gonna jump to this planet, and unfortunately, Hiltz, you're gonna have to wait, my friend. And we change these ships. Actually, I'll change them ships whenever I jump. Okay. So, go back to where I'm based at the moment. My bubble's up. Lovely, right beside him. Now, all going well, this ECS Horizon, after I tiered it up, anybody who was looking at my previous videos on it can see how impressed I am with it. It's sitting at 110k. That'll drop a wee bit because of this bug when I change the officer configuration. I think we put Scotty there for that reason there. Reducing the time, and we keep stun on the bridge. I'll go with that for the time being. Okay. We'll just give it a second until some of the lads arrive. Okay, I will be back in a moment. I see Fartesi has just arrived there. Okay guys, so Ironside has started. He's after bringing up that bubble. Now the big question will be, does this guy get online and manage to get his shields up? He's sitting on quite an amount of resources. Really should be spent. He shouldn't be sitting on that amount of resources. This could take a little while, but it might be very well worth it.
Now the talking's over, plans are laid and the hour is set. Glances round the table, eyes all shining, dark and bright. We meet again at daybreak for the day that will be ours. We're tomorrow's history, so just check your weapons.
There's Octo Raven, hiding behind that planet. Thinks we can't see him. We know you're there. Octo recently hit 28. I recently hit 27. I caught up with him right there. There was a bit of a gap before the server merge. So it's good now that we can participate in similar level events. So there's Rommel out with his faction minor. Rommel's the big dog here right now. Rommel has always been kind of like one of the #1 players, if not the #1 player on the original servers and coming through. There's a bunch of players now, I suppose, that rival that, but Rommel was always one of the big dogs. He went quiet, it seems, for a while, but he's back and he's still holding his own near the top there. But ROG have a few strong players as well, and there's a few guys up there in that kind of elite tier of player. 4.5 million base there. Didn't get a look at that faction minor, but that showed he's about. Devilman has landed another heavy hitter, not quite at Rommel's strength, but still. So people are starting to arrive now, and this thing's going to kick off as soon as this guy's bubble drops. Question will be, will ROG rally to defend them?
Even in this age of concrete, even in this age of reason, there comes a time when you put your life into the hands of the gods.
So guys are a wee bit camera shy maybe. Darky doesn't even know what's happening. So the Aussies are waking up and the Irish are soon for sleep. But we'll get a little bit of this before that happens. So I'm going to take a quick break for tea, guys, and I will be back again in about 5 minutes. Hopefully I won't miss anything. like it's on, guys. My timing is awful, but I did manage to hit the button before I got the kettle boiled. So I'm back with my tea and this is going on, so I'm going to just start sticking this horizon into this base and see what happens. See a bunch of other guys have arrived. Commander Spock. The Spark is there. And there we go. That ship's doing the business. Let's see what we've got. 8 minutes repair time. So let's see what's in the cargo hold of this. Okay, 18k titanium, plenty of power steel and a bit of dilithium. Nothing to complain about. Let's keep this going. And Morrigan and Darky have arrived. And we go again. So as always, guys, we'll take a wee look at some of these ships. There's Ironside with his Envoy, 48k. And it looks like that got destroyed on him. There's Devilman's Miner. Oops. Okay, so Spock's 42k. There's Rommel's 280. Margin 414. So these are heavy hitters, guys. And these faction miners now are even more difficult to come by for anybody below level 30. So let me see, Tricky's there, 160. But I'm doing this nicely with a 110. Thereabouts, 107 is reading as there. Okay, so let's take a wee look at the last two hits on that. $18k again in titanium. Will not be long building up the power steel here. And that'll be much the same until that power steel buffer is removed. And that's where some of these faction miners will really come into their own, because they'll be taking huge hauls of cargo out of this. So this is a nice site. Once again, teamwork, plenty of hum about. Feed the sauce. I don't see the other alliance. I can't remember how to pronounce their name, and it looks like my game has frozen. So I'm going to reboot really quickly and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I'm back. This is nice stuff. And it looks like this game is going to keep freezing like this, so I'm going to just keep recording. And if it happens again, I'll try and come up with a fix really quickly. And as I said before in some of these videos, this all helps with the dailies when it comes to alliance help requests. Check in on these rewards again in a wee moment. And you can see there that the ship is also getting EXP, which is all very welcome. So I'm going to use a speed up on that because for some reason Scotty's ability didn't kick in there. And this is this is getting a bit crazy. And again, that's 12 minutes. Jumps down to 8 gauge because they've got that station, that defense platform, and that dry dock upgraded. So another 3 minutes. Don't mind using these small speed ups in this kind of situation. Well worth it. The cowboy's coming out in spark here. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break here, guys, and try to solve this problem, and hopefully be back with a little more shortly. Okay, so I've closed a few programs down there, guys, and hopefully this will work. It could be a server issue. I wouldn't rule out lag given the activity that's going on here. So Ironside should be getting a little bit there with that backless, hopefully enough to cover his repair costs. That's what we want to see there. Nothing more than a 30-second wait till that ship's repaired. So no sign of Rog. No sign of anybody coming to assist with this defense. So this guy's on his own for now. And already up on 2 million power steel. Everybody's getting in on this. Flipping lid there. Spark throwing the old envoy out. These guys are throwing everything at it. So I'll do a check on his resources, what he has remaining now in a wee second. There we go. Over 1000 EXP on that hit there. So that ship is getting stronger because it's leveling up there, guys. Great experience points from this compared to hostiles. So this is a very nice raiding party. The server looked like it was quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden this happened. So it was nice timing. And I will use another speed up on that. So all of a sudden, the server is woken up. Taz and everything is getting stuck in. Taz has done a wee bit of catching up there himself. Taz was one of our original players. He was away for quite a while and he's back. So it's great to see him catching up and getting stuck in, showing what HOM are all about. So it looks like this is going to be a bit of an extended gameplay, guys. I wasn't planning it to be like this. I'm not going to do too much editing on it. I'll leave it warts and all. But like I said earlier, the Aussies might be just waking up, but a lot of these Irish guys, it'll be getting late very soon. We'll scan his base, see what he's left with. Still quite a bit to go. Okay, so it seems as though there is a wee bit of lag on this server, taking a wee moment to catch up. It's typical of these characters, like this is a right group of rogues here, like these guys have been through a lot together. These guys have been baiting the shit out of each other for the last 2 years, like, this is just the latest in a long line of battles and wars that has gone on between this group of players in some form or another. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if, with this combined effort, this group of Egypts would break the server. You can see how busy that is there, guys. Now for some reason that's after taking 26 minutes, so again Scotty's ability didn't kick in. Maybe I hit that twice by accident. I'd have to look at the footage. So we'll speed it up and get it out there again. So that's a good illustration. If that's what I done, hit that twice, that's a good illustration of why you repair after each individual hit. So my tea's getting cold, so bear with me. So sitting now almost on 4 million power steel there, guys. The guys are obviously all chilling out, talking about movies, draining this guy. He'll be very upset if he's still active. So there's very real potential for a collision here. There's Billy the Kid getting stuck in. After this hit, we'll check to see how quickly his resources are going down. Still on hundreds of millions of power steel, so so something going wrong with that ship. So we got in the last hit. Okay, so the amount of titanium is going up a little bit and the amount of power steel is going down a little bit. That's a sign that the buffer is wearing down. I think I hit Devilman there. I'll pretend it was an accident. I'm going to have to speed that up. What kind of ship? 265k ship. Never had a prayer against it. It is a great team effort. Clearly demonstrates, if anybody was in any doubt whatsoever about the ability of these three very independent-minded alliances to work together, and this should be all the evidence that ROG needs to quickly expedite a deal and get peace back to the server, or this relationship as it is only gets better. Okay guys, so we're back. And this is still going full throttle. Need a wee speed up on this ship now and get stuck back in ourselves. So I haven't done too much of this extended gameplay. Done a lot of short edited kind of clips, apart from the live streams, and I'd be interested to get some feedback from you guys as to whether this is something you would like more of. I have absolutely no problem sitting and recording this for a bit longer. It's just when it gets quiet in this game, it can get very quiet. Your attention can be drawn to other things, and I was more intending to keep my extended gameplay sessions for other games, which I haven't really put much thought into yet, but it's coming. So if extended gameplay in Star Trek Fleet Command is something you guys want, leave a comment, let me know. Or maybe you're finding that you've got the gist. Now I've hit that base twice again. Yeah, if it's a case of we've got the gist and we're going to make it shorter, edit that stuff out, well, say that too. Quite happy to do either. So this will basically enable me, I'd imagine guys, to upgrade my academy. You've seen there I've done a little bit of research earlier. The academy cost me something in the region of 9 million power steel to upgrade. So I'll certainly be happy if I can get to do that from this raid. And if the game doesn't stop freezing like this, I don't know what that's about. So I don't see any EXP flashing up for the ship anymore, so I'm presuming it's maxed out. We'll check it now in a wee second. We might even be able to do a wee upgrade on this soon. Take a look. Okay, so that is the warp engines. I can upgrade that. But I'd be more happy if I could get that. An increased cargo hold would raise it for me to 300k. Instead of 282. Not a dramatic improvement, but getting this ship up another tier will make it a very worthwhile asset for this kind of activity. just a little bit about the history of our server, guys. This beautiful bunch of bastards here. I mentioned earlier that half these guys been kicking the shit out of each other for a while, like, and now they're all together, working away, all in bed together, helping each other out. And a lot of these guys started this game in the guts of 2 years ago. So I personally, my story with this game is like any other game. You're checking it out on the Play Store, come across a wee Star Trek game, sound. I'll download that and see how that goes. And lo and behold, I fell in with this crazy bunch of agents, like, and they were very, very funny guys. Funny, strange, but funny, humorous as well. And it turned out a lot of them were Irish guys, which was strange for downloading a new game on your phone or on your device. And they were all from around. Ireland's a pretty small country, and to find so many on our server, it was very interesting. And it seemed as though the larger population, other than the Irish on the server, were Romanian guys. So this is starting to bug me a little bit. So there was a few battles between Romanian guys and Irish guys, and there might have been a few other nationalities, but that was largely it. There was a lot of Romanian alliances, a lot of Irish alliances. And we were playing for the guts of about 6 months, I'd say. I think my internet's about to go there again. There's another thing about living in Ireland is, like, we're not half as rural as some people make out, but then at other times it can be quite awful in terms of infrastructure. But anyway, all these guys, Romanians and Irish guys, were playing for the guts of about 6 months, maybe a bit more. Likes of Muckrell and Phil, and these guys were leading this alliance. It wasn't called House of Martok back then, and yeah, there was a few battles going on, a few wars, and the crack was good. We were enjoying it, and all of a sudden there was an announcement that the game was going to shut down. It was going to be reset. Everybody obviously very curious about this and what's the story, and because some of the guys had spent big money on it, and I wasn't one of them. I'd spent a very, very small amount, and some of these guys had spent big money, and it turned out that they basically gave us a date for when they were going to close the server, reset all of our progress. Some of these guys were getting pretty high up, in the 20s at the time, I think, and told us that we basically had a free run at it and we were going to get refunds. So everybody, I presume, went after their refunds, and the game shut down. And what was nice about House of Martok, it had become House of Martok at that stage, what was nice about it was that the guys went and set up a Facebook group and decided that they'd stick together for the relaunch of the game. We'd all get back together for the relaunch of the game. So I didn't join that Facebook group. I don't really do Facebook, so I kind of lost touch with some of the guys, but many of them stayed in touch with each other. Our alliance is different now to what it was. A lot of new names and new faces in it, but there's still some of them old originals there. And some of these guys are guys that played on our server, they were in other alliances, but when all these founders, these guys that were in the game at the very, very start, came back together, I was a bit slow on the uptake, found the game again. The guys that had a head start on me, and it turned out then we were on a server with a bunch of Australians. So a lot of guys had been moving on. Phil and all the guys were, and Octo and that, they were leading the alliance, and we found ourselves in a situation where the game was still in development, after we'd been announced we were in this beta and the game was being closed and we were all getting refunds, it was announced then that we were gonna be merged with another server, and you can imagine people were concerned about loss of progress again, especially the guys who had been in the original beta, and we had been promised a special gift for taking part in them very, very early days. That gift has never transpired. We were thrown in with all the guys on what is now known as Server 1, and that had gone on before the merge. That had gone on for a while, and then a merge came, and we were thrown in with the Server 2 guys, and many of these ROG are Server 2. So this is essentially, although there are exceptions to this, but this is essentially a Server 1 v Server 2 battle. If you look back to the origins of all of these ROG guys, ROG have consumed RPH and these other alliances that were the big dogs on Server 2. But not big enough dogs, because Sauce and Hum and these guys, S, W, or D, I've been informed by, I think it was Billy. Billy, there you are, Billy. How you doing, Billy? Nice Kara, Billy. So I was informed by this guy, as you can see, it's Excalibur, is the name of the alliance. So Billy kindly informed me that it wasn't SW or D, and that was a bit of a mouthful, and so I was aware. So like, the pronunciation is not great again, so I think it's Seward. Seward? Sweared? Something like that. So Billy's Seward there, he's not doing much at the minute. He's probably just sitting watching. He's probably a bit jealous of these guys, but Seward and Hum and Sauce, all very fiercely independent. Like I say, have been battling with each other over the years as well, and all of these guys combined, there was no messing with them. The biggest dogs on Server 2 still couldn't compete. Now there's probably noses knocked out of joint from Server 2 because of this, but guys, blame Scopely. You know, there's talk of another potential merger coming with another server. May or may not happen, but a lot of these guys are old enemies of each other that are now working together, and yeah, it remains to be seen how this server turns out and what the future holds for us. There are those who think that new blood is badly needed. There are those who just want peace. But you can clearly see from this, I'm at 7.3 million there already in terms of power steel. With a little bit of this gameplay, I'll manage to achieve the resources required to upgrade my academy. So it's been a real pleasure working with these guys. Most of them are cool. There's a few of these guys I don't really know that well, but some of them I've been playing with for a while, and generally a cool enough bunch. What I love about Hum in particular is, like, we are the oldest alliance in the game. There's no two ways about that. Our origins go back to the very, very, very start of this game, and I'm open to correction, but I don't recall any of these alliances. They were some of like Sauce here and that. They were around a long time, but Hum were the original alliance that always had that independent streak, weren't afraid of a bit of conflict, stood up for each other, defended each other, and weren't interested in growth and dominance at all costs. There are other alliances that will aim to be the dominant forces at all costs, and we just can't let that happen. when this war is over, we could be back at war with any of these guys again. This may, however, form bonds that'll never be broken. It remains to be seen, but it's definitely working well for some of them. And it's certainly working well for me. So I'm blessed to be in with a group like this. I recommend to all of you guys that haven't reached this level yet to find yourselves a strong alliance where the guys have a cool attitude and stick up for each other, and just wait until people try to push you around and you'll have plenty of targets. So guys, one of the rogue players is after hitting my base. See there, rogue belly dancer coming in with the railties, spamming railties at me, using my own tactics against me, bubbling me up if they can. And this is the start of rogue's defense on their buddy. Now it's not really going to work probably, because there's too many of our guys out here. We'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes. This base is going to start leaking its titanium very soon. Fair play to Rogue Belly Dancer for throwing the ships out to defend his guy. There's a lot of heavy hitters here. I very much approve of Rogue Belly Dancer's tactics here, and anybody who watched the start of the video can see what he is doing. And he's going in on his own guy. We'll keep at this for a while, guys. Rogue have begun some form of defense. There's no room around this station, I wouldn't think. See, this planet is full, so they're coming in from a distance. The Rogue Belly Dancer's running in there with what looks like a real death. Now, I don't know what he's hitting. Now they're hitting Stargate Command there. So he's just randomly hitting stations. You see he's bubbled up Stargate. That won't make much of a difference. We'll take a quick look here, see what he's got left in his base case. Okay, so that power steel's come down a right bit. So we're going to be eating into that dilithium and titanium very shortly. That's the juicy center. And that could be very well why we're starting to see some Rogue turn up. It'll be a bit of a damp squib, if it's only a couple of these realtors. So this is a great team effort, guys. So I have enough to upgrade my academy, so I'm going to jump in while that ship's repairing and speed up this dry dock. Let's use this power seal just in case somebody does come and hit my base. You can see there that I'm doing okay in that event as well, but I don't focus on the event. I save doing these things for when I've got the resources and then spend them as quickly as I can. So I'll go in and do the academy. There we go. And let's see now. This horizon is fixed if I can upgrade another component on that. So, take a look. So I need 1.2 million there, 1.2 million there, 1.7 million there. Now I can go with this 590k just to get that titanium spent in case more ROG turn up and start trying to drain our weaker bases of what we're just after accruing from this raid. And we'll see if we can get another component done once we get to the juicy center of this base. So we're nearly there now. And take a look at what we take home from this one. So, fair play to Ratty Run for hitting the station. It's not going to cost me much. Let's see what I got in that last attack. Okay, so it's 31k titanium coming out now every go. Okay, let's get in here and get to the juicy centre of this base before we finish up. So I fully expect this to get a little bit frantic before the end, once that titanium is fully exposed. Quite surprised that more ROG didn't turn up with bigger ships. Somebody destroyed that ship there. Most likely an incident of friendly fire. Yeah, there's Devilman's revenge on me. So, we're getting near the end here, guys. I'm starting to get very tired. It's past bedtime, but we can't give up on this. There's too much to be gotten out of this base yet. You can see there's a bit of a delay still in them timers and stuff. Again, it could be lag, but it can be a little bit annoying, especially when you're tired and been at this for a while. Where's he looking for his resources? It would be nice to get 1.2 million out of it before the end anyway. Or another Horizon component upgrade. Hardly get a hit in here. There we go. Now somebody's going to be under attack of it. Some hostiles maybe. No, we haven't frozen in a while. Hopefully it keeps going. This should be over pretty soon. I may have to take one more break, guys. So it looks like that there's more titanium coming out now. Let me take a quick look at this. 35k. Not as much as I thought. And Ratty Run is still at it. Now, I was chasing somebody's ship there, I don't know what was going on. Now, it looks like the ship might be stuck in combat. Oh. I really hope Sparks Minor is doing the business there. I see it heading back. And it's getting very laggy. Alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break until the last stint of this attack. And I will be back to you guys again in a few minutes. Okay guys, so we're back for the last stint hopefully. Now I know I've said that before, but it's really getting down to the core now, so, and bear with me if you hear me slurping on juice, because just needed to refresh there a little bit. I was really starting to flag, so I'll get that ship repaired and go in for the final stint. So, Rogue Belly Dancer is truly a rogue, not giving up the fight. Probably with that kind of attitude should be in Hom. And like I've said before, these things aren't personal. It's all part of the game. The Rommel took out his Enterprise there. Now, I wonder, can we catch it? I might be too slow. He might throw it out again for us for a moment. Get a wee look at it. So even Nox have joined in. Now Nox is the alliance that anybody who's been following the videos would have seen Pearly Shells. Nox is Pearly Shells alliance, and so they have got wind of this going down and have joined in as well. So you can see there, guys, in terms of my resources, the power steel isn't going up as quick, and the titanium is going up quicker, as is the dilithium. So this is because the buffer of power steel is now gone, more or less. And we shout out to Commander Spock, who, when I was testing my Realta against Hilt's base last night, he took out that Intrepid and took out Hilt's Intrepid with it, and caused him a fair bit of damage. And I just wish I had filmed that, because it was a great wee moment. So a wee shout out to Commander Spock. It was a great moment, and it was my bad that I missed it. This ship seems stuck again. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. There we go. Now we're at 800k titanium. Let's hope I can get to the 1.2 million before this base is completely empty. We're sitting. The power steel is practically gone. The titanium is practically gone, so it's all down to the lithium now, so it doesn't look like I'm going to get much now in terms of titanium. So we're coming very close to the end, guys. That won't be long disappearing at his base. Some of the cargo holds on those faction miners are quite large. and it looked like Rug didn't show up in any real numbers, in any real strength. But credit to the couple of guys from Rug who did show up and try to defend their guy, and generally be a bit of a nuisance to distract from these activities. So it's going to be hard to get the last wee bit out of this. There we go. $16 million left. Take 1 or 2 more hits just out of it. 2 million left. One more hit, we'll be doing alright. There we go. So that's practically it, guys. This lad has very little left. 5 million. I'll get one more last hit out of it. The Rug are in there with the faction miners as well. And I would say there's little more to be done. Yep, that's it. This guy's been drained. So I hope that wasn't too much of an ordeal for everybody. I hope it was informative for some. I hope it demonstrated how a ragtag bunch like this can actually get their shit together and work together and show that no matter how fiercely independent your alliance may be, no matter the history of war and old enemies and old friends, that it's very possible to overcome varied differences and work together in a common objective. Now, unfortunately, Stavansky was the victim in this case, but in reality he shouldn't have been sitting on that amount of resources without spending it. So a big shout out to all you guys, too numerous to name. A job very well done. The wooden spoon for the Rug guys that turned out to help Stavansky. Octo's still hiding in behind that planet for some reason. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna just send a wee message to everybody. And you get shields up. And hopefully hold on to some of these resources to do further upgrades at a later stage. So I'll be up in about 7 hours. And a good night to all the guys and everybody who has stuck with this lengthy attack. So, good night everybody. That's it from me. Give the video a like if you liked it. Leave your comments. Feel free to be critical of any part of it, and feel free to give credit where it's due, and I will catch up with all of you guys again in a future video. So until then, take care, good night, cheers.